Calipan, because them white boys in there were killers, man.
Which one? Which yard?
In B yard.
Oh, in B yard?
In B yard alone, right? Yeah. I've been there 2 years.
Yeah,
about 7 murders. Like.
What do you think? What was your experience, man? Because unfortunately, we got busted in California.
Yeah.
That's not a third world country. That's the United States of America.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a different world if we get busted right here. But since we got busted and we did time over there, I mean, first of all, going out was never an option. Folding was never an option.
Yeah.
We real Pinoy, man. That's how real Pinoy get down. How do you feel about doing time with other races? Like, what was your experience doing time with the biggest prison gang, which is the Mexican Mafia, the Fresno, La M?
I mean, that's the thing about prison with all the other races. With us, I mean, we were short, you know. The Asian Islander car, we were pretty much the shortest car. You got the woods, you got the blacks, you got the south side, you got the northerners, you know. But any other race in prison got to follow with the same code. You know what I'm saying? Respect. That's the number one thing in prison. You got to respect. No matter how big you are or how fucking many members your car has, you still got to apply the same respect to those smaller cars and shit, because guess what? Those smaller cars will bite too. You know what I'm saying? And people know this that's been in that world. You know, war is never a good thing in prison. They slam us down. There's a fucking war going on with Israel. They slam us down. They cut up the movements. Everybody's trying to make money. It's not going to make their money because we're slammed. There's going to be no program. You can't come out. If you come out the cell, you're going to be handcuffed. You're just basically in the hole. You know, so war in prison is never good. That's why you know this and I know this, that you can't just go out there disrespecting people. Because if you disrespect somebody, another race specifically, you're going to get your shit handed to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I can say about the Southsiders. You know, and I mean, we do it, the blacks do it, the whites do it, but not more than they do. They clean their house. There's so many of them. There's so many soldiers and shit.
But they gotta be structured.
They gotta be. And it amazes me how structured they are with that many people. How you keep in line that many people. In prison alone, in California, before we got out, there's 180,000, if I remember correctly, there's 180,000 inmates incarcerated in CDCR when they can only hold a capacity of 100,000. So we're almost 200% overpopulated.
That's 80,000 more.
That's 80,000 more. Yeah. And out of that 180, you gotta say about 100,000 of them are Southsiders. Out of that 180. You know, maybe 90 of them. Half of them is them, mandatory. And then you're gonna just split the rest with blacks, whites, and us. And it's a trip how they keep all that many people in line with this many individuals in the hierarchy, just basically saying that this is how it's gonna be. I know better. Let me tell you how we could go a straight line and shit, and let me drive this car, and people listen to them. It's a trip, you know. And again, I mean, I got nothing else but got nothing bad to say about them. I mean, any car has some weirdos that don't care about the rest, that will do whatever they want to do and get all his whole car in a wreck. But we have that. Southsiders got that. Blacks got that. Whites got that. But Southsiders pretty much, as far as my experience and what I saw, they keep their people in line, man. And it gives peace to the population when you have 50% of the population keeping their shit on check. That's 50% of the population you gotta not worry about, because they're gonna always, you know, give you respect and, you know, give you that courtesy and give you that, you know, that proper, you know, treatment and shit, and proper way to interact with you and shit. And that's half of the people you gotta not worry about anymore. You know, so I'll get at them for that.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the Renos. But what do you think about the Norteños? Do you think they're more structured, or since they're smaller number than the Sureños?
I mean, it's different. I've never been to level 2s. You know, I've been to 3s and 4. I feel like it's different on what yard you come in. You know, but Scorpion, they had Norteños in there too. When I hit down my time, I hit Pleasant Valley. But I had to get up out of there because of that valley fever shit. You know, we susceptible.
I heard about that. Yeah,
we susceptible. Us and the blacks, we couldn't be in that prison. So anyway.
And for some reason, the Filipinos are more susceptible to catching that fucking valley
fever. That's a trip.
Fever,
yeah, I don't know why and how.
The blacks and the Filipinos.
We're like, but we shouldn't be even endorsing that prison. Yeah. But my counselor in Calipas, stupid ass dude, endorsed me in there anyway. So, hey, immediately I got up out of there within 2 months. But I still got to witness how they program in level 3s and level, you know how it is. 4s is a whole lot more structured than 3s. So, but with them, they, you know how it is. They tend to kick it more with the blacks, and and basically have the same, like get down and which we do, cause we in the side of the day when we fuck with the blacks, we tend to fucking interact with them more and have more common ground with them because of our culture. We listen to raps, we listen to do what we do, and have more in common with them than the other races. That's how I feel. But as far as structuredness, they are structured though. The Martinez are, they're pretty structured.
Yeah, so a lot of fucking mandatory shit, man.
Man, and I mean, all races got that, workout and, but in Corcoran though, I mean, I have to give them respect though, because we open up the yard without no northerners in there. And then somehow they want to send this amount of Norteños from Pelican Bay to the yard where there's nothing but Southsiders in there. No damn well that they could, they sent a bunch of guinea pigs, about 18 of them the first wave. So we're already thinking, this one's going to get popped over the first day, right? The Northerners that they put in there the first time. So we're ready. They happened to send them in 2 blocks where we were at, where me and the homies were at. Yeah. So when they pushed out and shit, and we're already expecting some shit was about to kick off, and shit was, man, this Northerners and Southsiders. But man, they all came in there full, 18 deep against about 400 of them. About Southsiders, so they came in there pushing, walking, stealing shit, and that's why I give them respect, man. Nothing happened, but still the fact that you push in there, not with your chest up, but we're not looking for any trouble, but if trouble finds us, I mean, we don't mind either.
Waiting for the back down.
You know what I'm saying? Waiting for the back down. So they just walk in there, and they know all respect. You know how it goes, and, trying to figure out which bar they're going to work out, which, they're the fresh car in there. It just tripped me out how the police did them like that, though. And once they saw that first 18, like, all right, nothing happened, they started sending them, and next thing you know, they part of the yard now. But in the beginning, there weren't no Northerners in there. They mixed them with us later on.
What about, did you ran into any, like, Fresno Bulldog, or your experience with
I mean, when I began doing time, the Bulldogs was basically isolated. They weren't PC'd up. Don't get me wrong, they weren't PC'd up, but they have their own section, their own program, and their own, yard and shit. They go to yard at 11 o'clock to 1 when they
they don't mix in.
They don't mix in with us. That's in level. And anybody that was in there knew what type of program it was. They had a Bulldog, and they had a bunch of Bulldogs in 4 block C section. C section is nothing but Bulldogs. So they come in there. They program too, but it's not on site like that. But they know that it's more susceptible to cracking up with the south side with them, so they program in a whole another time. Like people from A and B section, if you're even if you're other whites or blacks or south side, you can't come to C section. That's where they were at. But they refuse to fucking, hey, you guys want to bring us in there, we'll stay here. That's why I give them respect too.
Yeah.
They held their own too.
What about the blacks? Like the Crips, the Bay Area, Hoovers, Bloods, Cranes, Pyrus.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot about them, the blacks.
Because we share the same side of the
We share the same side, and I started doing my time, like you said, sharing the same damn with them. And with the blacks, they tend to fucking be close with us a lot because, first of all, we're in the same side. And then when they get to know us, like with the blacks, this one thing I tell the blacks, whether you're a Crip, you're a Blood, you're from the Bay, you're a Fumi, you're a non-affiliate. If they know you with the business and you're not backing shit for nothing, you're not backing down for nothing, you're gonna get the respect mandatory. They know that you ain't no pushover. I mean, they're cool people, man. Them blacks are cool people, man. In my eye, I mean, like I said, any car, they tend to fucking. They tend to get that bad vibe in prison, that bad fucking stigma in prison, stereotype, because there's a lot of them that does scandalous shit. But guess what? Our car had people that does scandalous shit. Southsider got people that does scandalous shit. Northerner does You can't avoid those people. You gotta have scandalous people on any car. You know, they just have more people that does that. You know, but we're all them. Man, them blacks are good people, man. I started doing my time from the beginning till the end. Basically, not running with them, but fucking with them. You know,
And you ain't no crip.
And I ain't no crip. I ain't no
We ain't
blood.
no crip, no
I
blood.
ain't no Bay Area.
We just know everybody, man.
They just know that, all right, this was jumping solid and that's good enough for them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, they fuck with us and shit, you know? And like I said, I got nothing to say, nothing bad about it, say with them. Because once they embrace you on the tip that, all right, you're cool, even though you're not one of us, but you're straight, people tend to follow other people with ranks and see, when they see us fucking with other people, other high-ranking member of Crips or Bloods or Bay Area, the rest of the car followers too, they treat us the same as how their older homies treated them, you know, treat us. So, you know, like I said, I got nothing bad to say about these blacks, man. They're good people, man.
Oh, before I forget, shout out to motherfucking Nate Dogg from 916, man. Nate Dogg 916. It's so whoop.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah, you're looking up. Yeah, man, so the blacks.
They have so many cars,
So
man.
many different cars.
So many different cars.
And then they got the Long Beach car, the fucking Compton car, Watts car.
I mean, all your viewers, I'm not gonna say nothing that they don't know.
Yeah.
That's been to our world. Southside of run the prisons. There's just so many of them. That's just reality.
I think the deepest.
But no disrespect to the Southsiders, man. I mean, I tip my hat to you guys. You guys did that. You guys get to make your homies follow suit. About 100,000 of them in one line and shit. And I don't know how you made that possible, but you guys did that. And I salute you guys for that. But let me tell you something though. If them blacks, structured and organized, us them Southsiders, it could be an even playing field. You know?
If they were as structured as the motherfucking.
I mean, if you think about it, just the Crips alone got so many cars. You got the neighborhood car, you got the Gangster car, you got the Compton car, the Hub and Dub. You got all the cars. You got the Bay Area cars. Just the Crip alone got so many cars already. That's it. You got the Gangster car, you know. And then the Bloods got, you know, as far as I know, it's LA Bloods and then Sacramento Bloods. I mean, within LA, they don't really have different fractions. It's just one LA Blood. But you're going to have the LA Bloods, you're going to have the Dago Bloods, you're going to have the Sacramento Bloods. It's whole different cars within the car already. You know, when you have so many cars within one car already, it only means one thing. It's not like this.
It's a lot of division.
A lot of division.
Yeah.
But if they're like this, if they're unified like this, I believe that it could be an even field with Southsiders and blacks, man. You know, they just didn't have the structuredness and being organized as much like the Southsiders, you know, out there. Because they had the numbers too. The black got numbers too. You know, and they got young, rowdy ones, and they got a lot of big, you already know. They got a lot of big ones that, you know, that could give about 7 people problems.
Yeah,
You know, so too bad they didn't have the structuredness and the togetherness. And if they do, it's an even field with the Southsiders. I feel like it, you know.
What you think about the Woods skinheads? Which was your experience with them?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, I never look at the white boys like how I looked at it until I hit Calipat.
Oh, Calipat?
I mean, when I hit BR in Calipat, this is just recently.
I just left Calipat when he got there too.
I got there in 15, if I remember my time right, 2015, and then that's basically where I paroled at. You know, on the last few months of my time, I went to, like I said, Fresno Valley for 2 months, and then Delano for 1 month, and then a parole. Anyway, throughout my time, you know, Portland, Ironwood, Calipat, you know, out of state, I never viewed the whites as how they were since I hit Calipat, because them white boys in there were killers, man.
Which one? Which yard?
In B-Yard.
Oh, in
In B-Yard alone, right? I've been there 2 years.
Yeah.
About 7 murders. Like, not stabbing, not fucking, you know, motherfuckers up to the ground. Like, I'm talking about murders. B-Yard was a fucking, if anybody's been to Calipat around those times, from 15 to 17, if anybody was there, they would know that there's so many bodies dropped in there with the Southsiders and the whites. And it surprised me that there's more whites body that dropped than the Southsiders. They were really killing each other. They were killing their people.
Oh yeah, cleaning up the car.
Man, they had, you know, around those times, you know, people that did time or knew about how it was. Around those times, I think you paroled at 15 already, right? Or 16?
16.
16 you paroled, but around those times, they already letting people out from the shoe that's been sentenced for indefinite time, like the Mexican mafias and the ABs and the BGFs, like those people that are isolated for 20, 25 years. I mean, Oprah, I don't know if you've seen that show,
Yeah, I've seen that
but
show.
Oprah made that happen. You know, Oprah made that happen. He was on CBS. Yeah, she helped a lot of them because she went to the Pelican Bay shoe and then interviewed all them people that's 60-year-old, 70-year-old, and been in the shoe for 30 years.
To those who don't know, in CDC, the police corrupt the bitch police.
Yeah.
They were holding a lot of people hostage in the hole.
Man.
Inhumane. They weren't supposed to do it, but they were doing it. It's called abuse of power. It's disgusting, but they were doing it. And it got to the point where even Oprah Winfrey herself
had to intervene.
Yeah,
that's great.
Pelican Bay.
She went in there.
So they got out a lot of people from the shoe.
They started letting them out.
Yeah.
You got to remember, if you did 30 years in the shoe, 25 years, 35 years in the shoe, and you did that many years in the shoe straight, not coming out, it only means one thing. You were a straight killer. You were somebody from somewhere. You were speaking about something. If you spend that many years in the shoe, you were a someone. And we can mix you with the population because you could influence the masses and basically do whatever they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? So they'll isolate you to the shoe. So when Oprah went in there and did the interview and see all these people getting into the shoe, been in the shoe for 30 years, she had to make some noise. So around 15, that's when they started letting them out. Mexican mafias, AB, BGF. I mean, I know this AB dude because I was the manager for the homies around that time, so I got to speak with him and really interact with that dude from AB. But like I said, you already know I can mention his name or you know how it is and put some heat on him. But
but the other frauds, they're just fucking putting all the whole name and getting.
Oh man.
Anyways, that was just a little commercial. It's funny.
Hey, they way out.
Yeah.
Hey, but them dudes though, that dude like, fuck, like I said, man, them woods, I never looked at them
the same
as after that. Like,
this fools was really putting in work.
Them fools were actually
Cleaning
like
up the
this.
cars.
I tripped out, man. I tripped out.
Hey, but during my time, there was a lot. The south side was fucking getting and cracking too over there in California.
I mean, that's any prison.
Yeah.
That's any prison you go to. You already know. Yeah. Like you've been to a lot of places too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like they pretty much do what they do in the norm, which is, like I said, clean their fences, clean their backyard. If you have to get fucked up, they'll fuck you up. If you have to get stabbed up, they'll stab you. If you have to get killed, they'll kill you. But that's how they operate.
During your time in California, 2015, that's when you seen them releasing a lot of motherfuckers from the shoe.
Yeah, from the shoe.
They were keeping hostage.
See, that's why I got to speak up on that because not just that I dialogue and converse with them people. I wasn't, you know how we are with a car. It's pretty much majority rules. There's nobody that's gonna speak up for the homies or gonna shop off for the homies. We're gonna decide as one. But of course, you're gonna appoint a MAC prep, a representative that will speak to other races and know how to properly carry himself and speak for the car. And luckily, the homies had enough, trust in me to go do that. So I got to speak with these people and get close with some of these people and got to see their mind of thinking and their way of doing. And I happened to be in a class with some dude, a blood dude. Now, like I said, I wish I could mention his name, but I don't want to. Just let me just say he's from Bounty Hunters. He's from Watts. Let me just say he's from Watts Bounty Hunters. So, dude was in the shoe for 30 years. We was in the same. We was in the same class together, AA meeting. Because people nowadays trying to go home through those meetings, through those self-help classes. Yeah. So we were in the same class. So first time he got there, I knew he was old. He had a C number. So I knew already he had a C number. Oh man, this fool's been down a long time. So I'm already excited what he had to say and what he had to share to the group. So the first few meetings, he wasn't really saying much. He wasn't saying the words or nothing like that. And then when he finally, in a meeting like that, the sponsor, appoint people to speak. Hey, you, share your experience. So for 2 meetings, they never asked him for any type of, share any type of experience or none of that. The third time, that's when they fucking told him, hey, what do you have to say about this? So he spoke, and you know, like immediately when they pointed to him, I already knew to listen because first of all, you have a C number. That gives you a whole lot of experience. And
yeah, that means you've been down for a long fucking time.
Long fucking time. C number.
I'm a V number.
Yeah, I'm a V number too.
Yeah.
That's a C number. That's from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, from the beginning. So I fucking listen, and you know, he didn't say anything about what the sponsor had to ask him. He just shared this, and it moved me because I felt what he was saying. That, and then you guys just don't know how weird it is for me to speak and be around this many people. In a support group, you're around what, 20 people with a sponsor, you know, 24, 25 people. You gotta bet it's controlled, it's a level 4. So you can be 50 deep in a fucking room.
Yeah.
You know, probably 24, 20 of us, and then the sponsor, the free staff, that makes it 21. So you just don't know how it feels for me to be around this many people, because for 30 years, I was in the cell by myself, isolated by myself. Only thing I have is my neighbor to the right and my neighbor to the left. And when I go to the yard and I'm in the cages and speak to them people that's in the cages with me. And that's crazy. Imagine yourself being isolated for 30 years.
Not that a lot of shit.
God damn.
I mean, but I did time in the whole lockdown time by myself. You did time in the whole. I started talking to myself. I don't know if you did.
I read books.
Read books, but I
I
talked to
worked
myself
out and
too.
read video books. And
I mean, look what we're doing right now. We're
Yeah.
talking to the motherfucking whole world, man. To
Yeah.
those that can relate. I mean, to those that are willing to understand and really, really
see,
understand. Man.
speaking to yourself is not a problem. It's when you reply to yourself, that's when you become crazy.
And a shout to that. Yeah. West,